So, welcome to another episode of Artist Survival Tactics. So, getting paid. I remember when I first started out, money was a subject that I wasn't used to dealing with. Um, I guess my confidence wasn't there, and talking money seemed like some foreign thing, like you shouldn't be talking about it, like it was bad, you know. Um, I'm not sure if a lot of artists suffer from this. I know it was bad for me, and it's something I had to get over quickly to go ahead and get on and to be a successful artist. The So I have some advice for people out there, and this is stuff that I came up with over time to go ahead and make sure that I protected myself as well as protecting the customer. I've never personally ripped somebody off, like taking the money and ran and just never produced the artwork. But I've known other people that got burned. In fact, that's how I got into comics. Was the guy that hired me to do my first comic job, he paid another guy up front all the money to go ahead and do his book. And the guy took the money and never produced like any art. So he ran off with the guy's cash. And so he hired me, and I was like, look, and at this point he was snake bitten. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was gun shy. So he was very weary of me. He didn't know me from Adam, and so I convinced him. I was like, look, don't pay me anything up front. Let me go ahead and I'll do some pages. Pay me as I get the pages done. And he was cool with that. And we had a great working relationship. And we went on to do many other projects afterwards. So here's the rules that I live by as far as getting paid. Number one, I never accept full payment up front. I do accept payments up front, but not the full payment, because I think money makes you lazy. If you get paid all the money up front, you're gonna spend that money, but the work's not going to be done. So what's the point in getting the work done if you already got paid for it? I mean, there's a lot of people that think that way, or they produce subpar work, and because they already got paid for it. What's the point? So I never accept full payment up front. Two, I always get at least a third up front. If it's something that I know I can resell down the road, say if somebody wants like a Masters of the Universe piece or something like that, and they decide to cancel halfway through or after that initial payment, I know I can sell that piece because there's other fans out there that will buy it. Now, if it's a family portrait, and this leads me to three, if it's a portrait of their kid or, mother, wife, whatever, I'll get half up front, because it's going to be impossible to sell that piece to anybody else if they decide to cancel. So yeah, I get half up front when it comes to that. So let's move on. Let's move on to 4. If you're doing a book, say you get hired to do a comic or something like that, if you trust the person that you're working with, or you want to establish a fair working relationship, get something up front. If they seem pretty up and up, like they're not going to rip you off, they have a good reputation, set a payment schedule to where it's every 4 pages, or every 3 pages, something like that, where if it's a 24-page book, break it up into 5 different payments, and after every 4 pages that you produce, get paid for it before you send off the high-res files. Don't send the files off until you get full payment. And if they have changes, if they want to make changes to the work, I mean, within reason, I would say, like, if it gets like crazy, start charging for it, and make sure they know that, because people, it's like this feeding frenzy when it comes to making changes to art. Like, if they see one thing wrong, it leads to another thing, and they just start nitpicking the thing to death. So definitely start charging if that's the case. 5, always charge for shipping. And also take in consideration that if you're dealing with online payments, like as far as PayPal, Venmo, all that kind of stuff. Well, I don't think Venmo has charges, but definitely charge a processing fee, like 4%. Like they have a choice. They can send it friends or family, or they can send it as just a regular PayPal payment. But definitely always add in that 4% and make sure they know, like, that's, that this is something that's going to happen, But yeah, this is just a few things that I'll go by. And to be quite honest, ever since I came up with these rules, and I've stayed like true to all these rules. Like, I've never had a bad relationship with the customer. I've had customers come back. There was never any things go bad when there's confusion over payments. When money gets confusing, that's when the working relationship goes bad. And this, if you follow these rules, you won't have a problem. Because this is all about keeping things honest, keeping the work flowing, and putting money in your pocket so you can get to the next job. I know a lot of people out there that would be like, no, I don't really care about the money. It's all about the work. Well, that's not true. It's about the money too. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing this as a profession. So definitely keep that in mind. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe. Be sweet and stay wicked, and I'll talk to you soon. Out.